The Las Vegas Raiders came into Week 3 to play in front of their fans for the first time this year, and there was a lot of excitement about it. How could there not be after they upset the Baltimore Ravens to move to 1-1 with the 0-2 Carolina Panthers coming in? The Panthers were supposed to be fodder for them, but you know the saying, any given Sunday. I'm starting to think the Raiders are an any given Sunday kind of team, and this week wasn't their Sunday. What happened? Well, it was a combination of things. Number one, the Panthers were a different team with a different quarterback. Number two, the Raiders have a bunch of things to fix. I mean, come on, think about it. When they beat the Baltimore Ravens, did they play well? Exactly. They're not going to play well until they fix some things either. Head coach Antonio Pierce has to realize at some point that you can't play the way you want to play unless you have what it takes to play that way. He wants to play smash-mouth football on offense and run the ball when he doesn't have smash-mouth players on the offensive line to do it with. The Raiders are way too soft up front between the tackles. They gave center Andre James a new contract, and he went back to getting ran over after improving last year. Guard Dylan Parham is still struggling in year 3, and fellow guard Cody Whitehair was not a good signing. Greg Van Roten from last year doesn't sound so bad now, does he? Either way, the Raiders need second-round pick Jackson Powers Johnson badly. He played a little bit in Week 3 and looked solid, so hopefully he can start playing the whole game. Right now, the Raiders don't look like they have the line for the power gap scheme or zone blocking scheme. However, Pierce believes he's going to run the ball down his opponent's throats. I thought he figured out what the Raiders do well in Week 2, but nope. Being stubborn is what made him a great player, but it won't make him a great coach. You have to concede some things as a coach. Alright, we've seen it for 3 games now. The Raiders have to get the ball to Davante Adams. Yeah, I know, we dropped a couple of passes, but they still have to go back to him. He's too good not to, and he's the best player on the team. In Week 1, he only had 6 targets, and the Raiders looked pathetic on offense in a loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. In Week 2, the Raiders almost waited too long, but targeted him heavily in the fourth quarter to beat the Baltimore Ravens. He ended up with 12 targets in that game, and of course he only had 8 targets in the loss in Week 3. The offense was pathetic in that game too. The Raiders might want to get the ball to first-round pick Brock Bowers too. It was a thing of beauty when they got him and Adams going in Baltimore. Don't get me wrong, I love it that they got the ball to Trey Tucker. They need to keep going to him, especially with the deep ball, but get the ball to Adams and Bowers, and after that, things are open for everything on that offense. They'll even be able to run the ball after all that. See the Ravens game. You would think Getsy already knows what to do with Adams, so what's going on? He and Pierce need to get it together. The offense has to put some points on the board for real now because the defensive front 7 is figuratively and literally hurting. Edge rusher Max Crosby's on snap count management with a knee injury. The Raiders didn't need that after Malcolm Kuntz's partner in crime on the other edge is out for the season. You know Max Crosby's going to gut his way through it, but regardless, 2023 first-round pick Tyree Wilson has to step up big against the run and rushing the passer. I saw signs of life from him with the quarterback hit in Week 3 though. Nothing great, just signs of life. Interior defensive lineman Christian Wilkins got on the board with the sack, but he still needs help from the edge rushers. Middle linebacker Robert Spillane is doing it all these days as he has to blitz with the pass rush hurting. He had 10 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a sack. He was good in coverage as usual too. Linebacker Luke Masterson filled in for Divine Diablo in Week 3 and was okay, I guess. I saw a little Amari Gaynor too. I need to see more of him. That front 7 has to improve against the run either way. There's plenty of work to be done in the secondary too. Up to Week 3, the Raiders were doing very well at the corner position. Jacorian Bennett appears to have made the big jump to year 2. His coverage has been sticky. He has at least 1 pass breakup in every game so far. He's given up a completion percentage of 38.5% and a passer rating of 55.6 when targeted. Slot corner Nate Hobbs was a shutdown slot corner until he got abused in Week 3 by Panthers receiver Deontay Johnson. Then there's Jack Jones, who continued his stellar play from last year till Week 3. He gave up catches on all 4 of his targets, including 2 touchdowns. He compounded it by being the one that made the business decision that Pierce was talking about. We'll see what Pierce does about that, but he really needs to do something about his safeties. It's not worth talking about Marcus Epps because he's out for the season with a torn ACL. Isaiah Pulamalu was solid in his stead in Week 3, so they might have something there, but Trayvon Merrick has been a major disappointment so far. It might be time to see what Chris Smith can do. A lot of you want to see a quarterback change and may be looking for me to say something about it, but I have nothing for you. I thought it should have been O'Connell from the beginning, but didn't have an argument for whoever won at Minshew. They might want to give Carter Bradley a look as far as I'm concerned, because neither one look like the guy to me. Neither one will have success unless the coaching staff makes some changes either. I can't believe I have to say they need to get the ball to Adams and Bowers. It works. I hope to get Jackson Powers Johnson on that offensive line too. On defense, Lord, please give Max Crosby a healing, and maybe Smith should be at safety with Polamalu. Thank you for watching. See you next time.